missiles have been intercepted over Jordan, and this is the fresh claim that's coming in from the IDF. So IDF says that it has complete air dominance over Tehran and that it has intercepted Iranian missiles over Jordan. Israel, in fact, this is how Iran has responded. Shirinjoy, if we just look at the way things are panning out, at this point of time, which side has an edge militarily and what next for each side?
Well, at this point, it's very hard to say from what is happening vis-a-vis because of the fog of war. But one thing is clear, that Israeli weapon systems have hit Iranian nuclear establishments. The enrichment plants have been hit, the centrifuge factories, production factories have been hit, some Indians have been injured. So clearly there are missiles and weapon systems that are hitting places in Iran. That's the first thing. Of course, there have been strikes on the other side as well. But according to general information that we have got from neutral sources, there have been more casualties in Iran at this point. So that is very clear. Now the question is, Iran, of course, is a bigger country, so in a bigger target. And Israel has planned this for a while. They know where the weapon systems are. They know where the air defense systems were. They know where the enrichment plants were. Some of these attacks were done, perhaps not from Israel itself, but from inside Iran. So this would have taken a lot of preparation. So that is one. Most importantly, India wants the war to end. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi has made it clear once again that the 21st century is not a time for war.
Absolutely. And, you know, Srinjoy, amid all of this, the escalation between both sides, the comments from world leaders, there is also speculation and a larger conversation about the possibility of a regime change in Iran, because that was a comment made by Benjamin Netanyahu. Then you had the defense minister of Israel saying that, you know, Khamenei could meet the fate of Saddam Hussein. Why do you think Israel right now is ratcheting up this narrative of a regime change in Iran?
A regime change can happen if there is a ground operation. Now, a ground operation in Iran is not likely to be very easy because Iran has a population of 90 million. Israel has a population of 9 million. Secondly, to have a regime change, to have a ground operation, you will require American help. Now, is that forthcoming? That's the next question. If America wants to send its troops into Iran to fight a ground war, then it's a long-term issue because Iran is a big country and therefore you can start a war, but it's not so easy to know how a war will end. Iran is bigger than Iraq. Iraq was difficult enough. Even today, there are still problems in Iraq all these years later. So Iran would be much more difficult. Is this something the Americans want to do really? That's the question.
Absolutely. But you know, when Donald Trump, while cutting short his visit at the G7, when he made that mention of not a ceasefire, but something bigger, there was a lot of speculation and conversation around what does something bigger mean, and the statements that came after, especially, you know, the way he slammed Khamenei. But do stay with us because we have to get in the latest perspective. What has Donald Trump now said? He's issued what he calls the ultimate ultimatum, demanding Iran's unconditional surrender. Will Iran agree? But Donald Trump has said that the US has not yet decided whether to take any further action. And now there's also the Russia angle. In fact, it is Putin